I know deep down in my heart that if I do not follow some type of weight loss plan, that I will be 500 pounds one day.
Twerk, 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 twerk.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss.
Welcome one and all. I am DC.
And I'm Casey.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen bringing you this time of the month and this time every other week, basically. A celebration of all things bleeding for a week without dying. KC, it's finally here. You know about the Patreon, obviously, and the twogoddamngentlemen.com. You're here. You get it. Casey, what are the goddamn gentlemen in for tonight?
Female inspiration for the next generation, DC.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
End. We'll see who you bring. And it's a bonus show, so I'm going to show my work right away. You say, KC, inspiration? Now that would have to be quite the lady. Well, lucky you. I brought one.
911, what's your emergency? I called a little bit ago, the deputy sheriff. I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for a month. We're talking about a 3-year-old little girl. My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store.
3 months later. That's rough.
It's Casey Anthony.
The babysitter took her, Casey.
That's right, and we're gonna go through exactly how that happened. This story, DC, we are back in 2008.
Yeah.
Kaylee Anthony has been missing, we'll find out soon, kidnapped for about a month when this phone call takes place. And what had happened was that Casey told the family, she's like, yeah, I'm going to take Kaylee. We're going to go. I have a business trip to Tampa. And we'll cover what Casey does for a living so you can understand why she'd go on a business trip. But really, she didn't have a business trip, which, again, I don't understand why they wouldn't know that. But in reality, she had spent those 30 days looking for her kidnapped daughter, which I think anybody would do if your child was kidnapped. That makes sense. So let's continue.
She just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
The smell in the car is not good. It was actually her dad, George, who we'll talk about again, that noticed the smell. He's a former cop, so he was able to pick up on that pretty quickly. So the dispatcher is like, all right, is your daughter around? It seems like I should talk to her. And luckily, Casey was equally enthusiastic about having that conversation.
Is your daughter there? Yeah. Can I speak with her? Okay, sheriff's department, they want to talk to you. Answer the question. Hello? Hello? Yes. Can you tell me what's going on a little bit? I'm sorry? Can you tell me a little bit what's going on? My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days.
Aw. She sounds just as broken up as her mom.
I don't have anything to say to them.
Casey, get on the phone. What's up, guys? Hello?
Yeah.
My mom's freaking out over here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, what do you want?
So she's clearly distraught.
Yes.
Is my point.
Yes.
And now it's time that they get into what exactly happened. Casey says, well, the nanny took her. And the dispatcher's like, oh, well, let's get some info on this kidnapper right away because the search is already way too late to be starting, but let's get some info.
Yeah.
Do you have a name? Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. Who is that? Babysitter? She's been my nanny for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days ago? I've been looking for her and have gone through other resources to try to find her, which was stupid.
No. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe stupid. But luckily, now the proper authorities have a name. So all's well that ends well. Let's fast forward. Casey at the police station. And she has an uncanny memory. Now, I have a terrible memory. So I'm really jealous of her ability. Listen to the detail that she's able to give the police to help aid in the search.
Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
Okay. How long had you known Zenaida?
Almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years Christmas this year.
And where did you meet her? Who did you meet her through?
A mutual friend, his name is Jeffrey Michael Hopkins. I met him at Nickelodeon at Universal, and I met her through him. She was his son's nanny at the time.
Does Jeffrey still work at Universal?
No, he does not.
How long has it been since he left?
About 9-10 months, give or take. He moved up to North Carolina for a short time and moved down to Jacksonville within the last 3 months.
A lot of detail from Casey.
A lot of detail.
So,
which is a red flag, by the way.
you think so?
It definitely is, yeah. The more they're telling the truth, the more simple it is and repeated it is.
So
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I don't know what's going on here. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
But no, she decided to help out a little more than you seem to want to. So she met Zenaida through Jeffrey because Zenaida was Jeffrey's kid's babysitter.
Right.
Now, after this, Jeffrey moved to North Carolina for a bit. We learned about that. He then moved to Jacksonville. She told us about that.
Yeah.
Now, he was eventually called to testify in the later court case and went on to confirm her story pretty well, I think.
Did you ever introduce Casey Anthony to a woman by the name of Zenaida Gonzalez?
I did not.
Did you ever use Zenaida Gonzalez as a nanny?
No, sir.
Do you have any children?
No, sir.
Have you lived in the Orlando area consistently since 2002?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever lived in Jacksonville?
No, sir.
Have you ever lived in North Carolina?
No, sir.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Damn it.
That's rough.
Basically, word for word what she said, right? So, so this next clip, because I think the details that Casey's able to provide are the best part of this. This next clip is more detail coming from Casey. She tells us in this clip some interesting things. Now, try to keep track so you can follow along as we go.
Okay.
She talks about going to pick up Kaylee, trying to get a hold of Zenaida, the woman who's taken her, and who she talked to after she realized her daughter had been kidnapped.
Okay.
And I show up to the apartment, knock on the door, nobody answers. I call Zenaida's cell phone and it's out of service. Didn't really want to come home. I wasn't sure what I'd say about not knowing where Kaylee was. And I ended up going to my boyfriend Anthony's house.
Did you talk to Anthony about what happened with Kaylee?
No, I did not.
Have you talked to anyone about Kaylee, about your incident with Kaylee? Or the fact
Outside
that
of
she's missing?
A couple people, a couple mutual friends.
Who did you talk to about it?
I talked to Jeffrey Hopkins. I talked to Juliette Lewis.
Jeffrey
She's one
Michael
of my
Hopkins,
coworkers at
straight.
Universal.
She works. You still work at Universal?
Yes,
What do you do at Universal?
I'm an event coordinator.
Okay. What is Juliet? What position is she? Where does she work?
She's also an event coordinator. We work in the same department.
Okay, so there's unfortunately a couple issues with that piece of audio. Now, I don't want to call out a lady for a lie. That's not proper behavior of a gentleman, but I also have an obligation to the truth. Casey, not an event coordinator. Okay, sort of an event coordinator. She was an event coordinator in the way that if you consider getting the photograph of you and your family on the Incredible Hulk ride, like if you want to get that photo and purchase it, she could facilitate that event and coordinate it, like get the photo and money exchanged and give you the photo. Like she was able to coordinate that
Wait,
event.
she
That was her
worked
job.
for Universal at the photo booth, you mean?
At the Incredible Hulk ride photo booth, yeah.
Wow.
So she's not quite the event coordinator, but yeah, I
Right.
guess you could spin it a certain way.
Yeah, the event of getting handed the picture is
That's right.
coordinated by her.
By her, exactly. Now, Juliette Lewis, who she talked to,
Who's also
somebody
an
that she
event
works with,
coordinator.
also an event coordinator. Not actually an event coordinator because not a real
She made the
person.
fries at one of the kiosks.
Yeah, no, that would have been better. Not quite. No, Juliet doesn't exist. But Casey covers for that nicely in this next clip.
You have a number for Juliet?
Ooh, offhand, I can't think of one.
Is she in your SIM card?
No, she's not. Some of the more recent numbers, her number just changed because she just moved back up north.
Cell phone
She,
numbers do
within the
typically
last
change
2
when you move
months,
out of a
has
county.
finished moving up to New York. She's subleasing her apartment.
So Juliet doesn't work at the Universal.
No, she does not.
She's so detailed even when she gets the words wrong.
She's subloosing her apartment.
Oh, it's great. Again,
that's so
Juliet, a
funny.
fake person, so she's not subloosing anything.
Right.
So the detective has a pressing question.
Oh, yeah. Before you get to the pressing question, by the way, if you're ever in this situation and you're in Florida and you're making up fake people, they didn't move north. They moved south. It's harder to find them south of Florida than it is north. I'll tell you that.
It's a good point. It's a really
Lord.
good point.
No, I think he went to Cuba.
Yeah.
Changed his name to Gomez. Carlos Gomez.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Short guy, mustache. Yeah, you should find him.
Yeah. Brown eyes?
So the detective's pressing question. Our lady has a not at all confusing answer.
What's the reason, I asked you this before and I'll ask you just for the record, what's the reason you didn't call the police before?
I think part of me was naive enough to think that I could handle this myself, which obviously I couldn't. And I was scared that something would happen to her if I did notify the authorities or got the media involved. Just the fear of the unknown, fear of the potential of Kaylee getting hurt, of not seeing my daughter again.
Now that's confusing to me. I don't have kids, but I feel like it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Why didn't you call the cops? Well, I'm half black. Like, fuck, all right. Whatever.
DC, this next one is a normal police question and a normal answer exclusively from innocent people, which is good news.
Is there anything about this story that you're telling me that is untrue? Or is there anything that you want to change or divert from what you've already told me?
No, sir.
Nope, not at all. Everything that she has told is completely the truth. Now, what is Zanita's motive? Right? Why would Zanita have kidnapped Casey's daughter? Let's find out.
She's a Democrat.
Is there any underlying cause to why Zenaida would have taken your child?
Nothing that...
She ever make any statements to you about...
Only how much she loves Kaylee and how great of a kid she is.
You said Zenaida had family up in New England, up in New York or
Yes,
something?
she has family down south. Her mother and her sister.
Down south.
Her brother's in New York. She's originally from New York. Pretty much grew up there, moved down here, went to the University of Florida.
Okay, a lot of detail there, DC. There's one issue with that. I wonder if you could guess it.
That she went to a university?
No, Zanita's not a real person.
Damn. Shoot.
Damn.
Shoot.
Now, here's the real question. Why does Casey lie so much? Where does this come from? Quick story about her family that I thought was fun. She skipped the last semester of high school. She just stopped going. Didn't go to any classes. And then blamed the school. She was like, no, they gave me the wrong schedule. I showed up to all the wrong classes every day. For the
Fuck's sake.
the whole semester. So her family did the normal thing, made her go back. Oh, no, they didn't do that. They threw her a graduation party and just told everybody she graduated. Like, fine. That's fine.
Yeah, and then she probably just took the GED test and everything was fine.
That's probably
and then
true.
she became an event coordinator and it worked out for everybody.
That's right. It certainly did. She just lies a lot, basically. The detective's getting annoyed. He thinks she's lying for some reason I can't figure out. But she stands her ground, and in this one, I'd just like you to point out the truths, because there are some in her statement this time.
Okay.
Because obviously, I know, and you know, that everything you've told me is a lie, correct?
Not everything that I told you.
Pretty much everything that you've told me, including where Kaylee is right now.
That I don't know where she is.
Sure you do. And here's
absolutely
listen,
do not know where she
let me explain something. Looking at you, I know that everything that you've told me is a lie. I'm very confident, just by having talked to you this short period of time, that you know where she is.
I legitimately have not seen my daughter in 5
True.
weeks. I didn't let anything happen to her, except I trusted her with somebody that had been taking care of her, that had been taking good care of her.
True.
False.
Oh, no.
And the last part was false.
Yeah, the last part ended false for sure. So, let's do some updates after this all happened. December 11th, 5 months after the reported missing child thing goes out, Kaylee's remains are found in a swamp less than a mile away from the Anthony household.
Womp womp.
Wrapped in a Winnie the Pooh blanket, placed in a canvas laundry bag. Duct tape was found around her nose and mouth. Death ruled a homicide. Death penalty being sought for whoever is guilty. That's the initial findings. Here are some interesting searches that Casey made on her cell phone on the day that Kaylee was last seen alive by anyone. 7:52 a.m. shot girl costumes. 2:50 p.m. suffocation. 2:51 p.m. foolproof suffocation. So just normal, everyday searches, I think. That night, Casey and Tony were seen at a gas station a few hours after those searches. Seemed to be just having a nice night out by themselves. Trunk probably empty at this point, I would imagine. She might have gone out partying over the next couple of weeks, as you can see.
Oh, man. Go back to that last one before that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Does have a big forehead. Mike B is right. She's got a big forehead, but something about those eyes, man. Crazy chick eyes.
Oh, she definitely has those. So she goes out partying in the next couple of weeks, and then she writes this in her diary after the kidnapping, which is weird. It says, "This is the happiest that I have been in a very long time. I hope I can continue building my happiness," or whatever. Okay. Probably could have left it on the screen and read it myself, but let's see. DC. After this, the trial begins.
Yep.
The problem for the prosecution is they have no smoking gun, right? They don't have any actual traceable evidence that connects anyone specifically to the murder.
Right.
But they have a whole lot of circumstantial evidence that all points to one person. All the items found around Kaylee were linked to Casey, or Kaylee through Casey. Luckily, the defense led their opening statement by solving the mystery in a giant bombshell way.
Everyone wants to know what happened. How in the world can a mother wait 30 days before ever reporting her child missing? It's insane. It's bizarre. Something's just not right about that. Well, the answer is actually relatively simple. She never was missing. Kaylee Anthony died on June 16, 2008, when she drowned in her family's swimming pool.
So they just led with that. That's what happened. That's the real story.
Could you imagine being the prosecution and just be like, you son of a bitch. Oh, you son of a bitch. All right. Get every paralegal that works for us here now, because we have a lot of shit to redo.
We are in trouble here. No more babysitter,
and she
DC.
She panicked for 30 days because she didn't want to be pegged with a murder that she wasn't responsible for. Brilliant.
Just unbelievable.
Wow. Slow clap for that man. and his doomed soul.
Cool runnings in here.
His doomed soul. Oh, man, that's funny.
So you remember the family has a history of lying, DC.
Sure does.
Let's dive into that.
You will hear about ugly things, secret things, things that people don't speak about, things that Casey never spoke about.
Well, that seems convenient, but let's dive into some stuff about her family that Casey's never told anyone until right now.
This family must keep its secrets quiet. And it all began when Casey was 8 years old and her father came into her room.
Oh, shit.
Not good. Remember George. Now, I don't think George knew this was coming because he probably wouldn't have showed up to court that day.
This child, who at 8 years old, learned to lie immediately. She could be 13 years old, have her father's penis in her mouth, and then go to school and play with the other kids as if nothing ever happened.
Oh, man. just gets better and better.
I don't think he would have showed up. I really don't. Oh, man. So, okay. Poor George. George probably didn't see that one. And by the way, there's a bunch of clips of like George and the mom visiting her in jail. And Casey's like, I wish I could have been a better dad and granddad. And she's like, you've been the greatest. You are so amazing. And then, so 6 weeks, the trial takes. First issue with the prosecution that we talked about, it doesn't change. There is nothing better than the circumstances, right? So more bad news for the state. And you heard earlier, he caused the big headache at the beginning. A big problem for the state's case is Jose Baez, one of the attorneys on Casey Anthony's side, the guy that we keep hearing in these clips. That's good news for Casey, especially since Jose is speaking to a jury of her Floridian peers, so that's nice. I'll illustrate my point as to what Jose is capable of. Here is part of his closing argument. Oh, sorry, the prosecution's closing argument. We're going to do a compare and contrast. Okay. Prosecution's closing argument
She had to choose between sacrificing two things. The first was her dreams and the life she wanted. And the second was her child. And we submit to you the evidence in this case shows that the choice she made was her child.
Yeah, holy shit. That took a long time. Not a lot of flair. Nothing really going on. Now it's Jose's turn. What do you say, Jose?
That's boring as shit.
Yep. Here's Jose on the other side.
I'm going to start with my biggest fear. I'm going to tell you right up front what I fear may happen in this case. And I want to talk to you about it and explain why I feel that way. This case deals with so much emotion. Your rules of deliberation, what the law is that this case must not be decided for or against anyone because you feel sorry for anyone or are angry at anyone.
So don't be angry at who you thought might have done it. And don't feel sorry for anyone don't feel sorry for anybody. No, don't feel sorry for anybody. Don't forget about Casey's dad's penis in her mouth at 13. Don't forget about that part. But don't feel bad for anybody. And certainly don't be angry at anybody. That's important.
Yeah. Every time the lawyer was like, and her father's penis was in her mouth at 13. And there was one juror in Florida that was like, Exhibit C, Exhibit C, Exhibit C. Ah, damn it.
By the way, the prosecution, if you're watching this on YouTube, go back to the clip where he talks about that, the penis in her mouth. The prosecution sits there and goes, oh, no. Oh,
yeah.
No. He gets all upset.
So, like, objection, prove it. You can't just say shit, dude.
You can't just throw that out there.
This is court.
So, Jose continues his closing statements with some thoughts on how the trial has gone.
They didn't come right out the gate and show you the evidence. They gave you 2 weeks of testimony that was completely irrelevant and served only one purpose. And that was to paint Casey Anthony as a slut, as a party girl, as a girl who lies, and has absolutely nothing to do with how Kaylee died.
3 for 4. Good try. Close.
Yeah.
Almost. Almost got them all. Final thoughts from Jose, and this is really just a setup for our final clip.
It has to be proven to you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. If you don't know what happened, it wasn't proven. We don't want you to tell us what you think happened. We want you to tell us what was proven happened.
That seems like a good system. Let's find out what happens next.
As to the charge of first-degree murder, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. Of aggravated child abuse, not guilty. Of aggravated manslaughter of a child, not guilty.
So Casey Anthony, everybody, just out there doing her thing. Because everything's fine. Everything worked out.
Where's she at now?
I guess. I'm not sure. Didn't look that up. Probably could have. Probably should have.
Well, that'll be an update in 2 weeks.
That's right. There we
From
go.
me.
I can just do an update. Perfect. DC. I have some honoraries.
Oh, I can't wait, dude.
Let's start with PJ Washington's wife, soon to be ex-wife. PJ
Oh,
Washington.
I saw this. Oh. How is that number possible? How
Forced to
does
pay
he have that much money?
$200K per month child support over the next 18 years. Ex-wife filed for divorce 2 weeks ago after giving birth to a kid. Now, this is probably devastating for both of them, I would imagine. Oh, wait, she wrote a book that you could look into, or just check out this clip from a few years ago.
So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
Yo, not good.
Oh.
Yeah, just fucking athlete. They're really dumb. Actually, yep.
Yeah.
She knows what she's talking
Most of them are.
about. DC.
Dude,
I
LeBron
know,
is with his high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Well, I think he's done fine.
I'm kidding.
DC, I know this is your favorite part of my honoraries every week. It's this week's lesson in language.
Yes.
Today, we learn about animal noun self pronouns amongst neurodivergent minors.
I made a really loud, yelly video about this, but I decided I will approach this in a more calm but stern manner. A lot of the people using kitty and pup and bunny self pronouns are neurodivergent minors. It is a very common neurodivergent experience to feel a disconnect from being human and from the societal expectation of the gender you were assigned at birth. So when you have this intersection of feeling a disconnect from being human and a disconnect from the societal expectation of gender, whether you're neurodivergent or not, a lot of people have this experience who aren't neurodivergent. It's just very common with neurodivergent people. When this intersects, you get noun self pronouns and animal noun self pronouns. If you are not comfortable using someone's pronouns because you assume it's kink for some weird ass reason, don't interact with them and just shut up about it.
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to not interact with you at all. You're the one who is demanding that I do certain things. Just fucking stay over there. You are a shit girl. We get that. So you want to be a dude. But newsflash, you're an even shittier dude. So stop trying to be dudes because you're shit at it. And you know what? Most of the trans men that I know are just chill. You know why? Because they're dudes. And they just want to be dudes and they don't give a fuck about shit. They just get along and if we see them in our bathroom, it's for the 2 seconds to walk from the door to the stall where I can't see their shit going on literally because they don't have a dick to stand at the urinal. And you know what? Even if a dude comes in, you know what I'm not looking at? His fucking dick when he's peeing in the urinal. I don't give a shit.
What are you looking at?
The advertising above, if they have it. If it's a classy joint.
Sure.
Or the sports center. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We're trying to stop weirdos from going in the women's bathroom and shit like that. Men are worried about men infiltrating the women, and so the women are afraid of men infiltrating them. It's women causing the issues all the time, at all times.
And to be honest, all of these problems are starting before that. Puberty was just easier when we were younger because there wasn't all this made up shit for you to just latch onto.
Everyone just expected, like, well, it's going to get weird. Crossing my fingers that it doesn't get too weird for me. Like, it's going to be weird for everybody.
I'll come out the other side just fine.
And if it does get real weird, I'm a funny person. So it'll be all right. I will destroy anybody who tries to make fun of me with their insecurities until they cry, and then I'll be the bad guy, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, at that point, it's fine. All right, DC, my final honorary, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, let's see it.
We have an altercation in a parking lot, of course. Who do you think could be involved? Give me a character type.
White people.
That's right.
Watching you navigate your ass in here, almost hitting me, and you're telling him to stop, and you don't fit. I'm asking you to stop, don't go away, and you don't. You come closer. I'm in a legal proceeding for people like you that do that to me. It's a human rights violation case.
No,
it's a
what?
white female thing, and white females don't understand what no, don't, stop, and go away mean.
I think some
white
of them might.
Females? Lady, you are a white female. What does she think is going on here?
Well, let's find out. She's clearly upset.
There's more. Great.
Let's push forward.
If violate me. Thank you. Record it.
Oh,
Give it
anyways,
to the police.
all we're
They
doing-
know me. My name's Carla Ace. Capital K, capital A.
Of
Can you just
course
stop
they know you.
talking?
No, I will never stop talking.
You can, because I'm gonna stop talking.
I will never stop talking. You know what? I turned my opinion on Kaylin or whatever her name was, Carla. She's fantastic.
Something like that.
I
No,
will
she's
never
great.
stop talking.
I will never. She uses some weird terms, I found.
I'm in my vessel.
You need to stay away from us.
I have not even
You know what?
exited my vessel. You're the one standing close to me. Look at
Oh.
yourselves. You are the hypocrites that I am talking about. You are being hypocrites.
Okay,
You
anyways,
are approaching me in
if
my
you would
vessel.
In her vessel.
In her vessel.
She's just chilling.
A body is a vessel, Casey. Of Christ, I hope.
I would imagine so. Now, as you can guess, this went on for quite a while. Finally, somebody approaches and asks, "Hey, what's going on here?" Here's the least surprising thing.
And white women have a hard time backing off.
I don't know what's her issue. She just started yelling at us.
Just random. No, I've been in this community for 9 months. They know who I am.
Do
Probably.
you know who she is?
Oh, absolutely. I have definitely a reputation in this community.
I have a reputation that, yep, we believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely do.
If
And our
I
last
saw her on the street, I would recognize her. There are legit celebrities that I wouldn't recognize. If I saw that lady on the street, there is no chance in hell I don't know. Oh, you're the lady that poked her head out that window of that Subaru or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, that's so true. Final clip, DC.
Yeah.
And this is called a trauma trigger. I am triggered by white females.
Me too. All right, me too.
Aren't we
can all understand
Triggered
that.
white females.
There you go, DC.
Oh, beautiful. All right, Casey. I'm excited for this. I'm real excited for this. The Jesus thing got me jazzed up, and I wanted to do the ladies justice as well. I've got four honoraries. Casey, this lady, first of all, is clearly not a patron because, well, go ahead. Next clip.
What do you think about Hitler? I don't know who that is or what he does. I'm assuming that's some kind of rapper.
Not a bad guess, given the given the TikToker. Not a bad guess.
Well, we know that's not me. I can't grow hair there.
So, Casey, this obviously is very recent. Being Hitler nominated last night, which was a beautiful thing by you. Also kind of recent. Did you watch any of the Olympics? I'm sure you watched a few things.
One or two things here or there, sure.
Women's weightlifting. Did you watch that?
Nothing. I didn't see anything specific. No.
Okay. So you're not familiar with Laurel Hubbard of New Zealand?
No, but she sounds like a brick shit house.
She is the first openly trans weightlifting woman.
Okay. Yeah. She was in the Olympics? I have heard that name before.
Well, they allowed her to be, I think, because she had no shot. There are amateur weightlifters in the LA Fitness down the street in any United States city that could win the gold in any weight class in women's Olympic lifting. But Laurel Hubbard is this old dude, and there's go ahead and play the next clip because I think they show a picture of him and you'll get the idea. But this is the
historic night.
Gold, silver, and bronze medalists being asked questions after their, after they're winning.
It's a historic night here with Laurel Hubbard competing as the first openly transgender in a.
It's like a 50-year-old man.
Individual event. I was wondering, what you felt about that and what you felt that it took place in your sport.
Meatloaf. So he's like, "What do you think of her?"
No, thank you.
Thug life, dude. America. Oh, bronze medal coming in with the knockout. So, Casey,
Pass on that.
There's a clear sign sometimes when two people square up. You can already tell who's gonna win the fight, right? In this next clip, I call it when a bitch ties her hair back, you already lost.
Oh, problem. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So good. I know.
I made the face.
Predicted the future, bro, with that image.
That was awesome.
She got her head fucking knocked off. It was great right hook. Casey, this next video I've captioned, "Gentlemen, secure your erections."
That bodies are worthy if they're healthy or they're not. And if you say that that's not true, I'll kick you in the crotch.
That shit goes on for like 5 verses. Each one more monotone than the rest. We're pretty much fat dykes kick each other in the all kinds of different mounds that they identify as faces and necks and asses. It's all just mounds. Etc. Casey, without further ado, I'll let my lady somewhat introduce what she's all about.
Yet, a beacon of light shines through this weary, dreadful gallery of discomfort. Among the insistent demands that I surrender all of my firearms and smile longingly upon the incoming droves of Muslim men, one thing keeps me from erupting into a frenzy, clutching the face of the nearest child prostitute and raising it with my bare fists. One thing and one thing only manages to keep my morale high. A dingy piece of paper taped to the bathroom wall, telling me not to kill myself.
So
oh, shit. Who is that? She's awesome.
14-year-old Soph, dude. Well, she's older than that now, but the video that I just showed you, which was entitled Suicide Bomb, was
hilarious.
Was when she was 14. She's red-pilled as fuck. Yes, thank you. Jess LeBlanc, based and red-pilled. But a lady nonetheless. And Casey, I think I'm going to prove that with these 20-plus clips of Soph here. A lady always gives an educated opinion, Casey.
My spite for learning institutions is exceeding the time I spend in them in increasingly disproportionate amounts. The first time I read about the kids who shot up their high school, I simply couldn't understand it. Why would they wait until high school?
Good question. It's a great question, Casey. A 3-year-old can do it, you know? Like, suicide rates amongst 3-year-olds is not 0. You know, Google it. So...
I don't want to.
So Soph revisits the hang in there kitty posters.
Most of the posters consist of vain truisms about self-image and fat phobia, as if the lumbering lard buckets of America were in all 30-something-year-olds, and as if some ham beast or Skindiana Bones is going to become healthy off of shitter wisdom.
Casey, you ever listen to any shitter wisdom?
I'm not sure.
Oh, man. You ever called like a phone number for a good time?
No, I have not done that.
Oh, man. I've called at least 3 just to see if it was like a dude that they like pranked, you know, like their friend's number that they wrote on there. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's so funny.
So Soph explains why these poster tactics are counterproductive.
The reason why there is no progress being made on that problem is because, as it turns out, dumping a never-ending stream of positivity platitudes on children with defective brains does fuck all in the way of actually helping them.
This girl is awesome.
Is she writing all of this herself, or does she have like? Is
I think
helping?
She does this with her brother. I think her and her brother, but he's not that much older than her. I think.
Okay.
He may be a couple years older in high school or something like that, and he helps produce the videos and videotape and shit like that. But I think she writes them.
Wow. It's really, really impressive. It's funny as fuck, too.
But, Casey, doesn't this make you wonder, shouldn't we make our kids happy about who they are now? Next clip.
Thinking that self-image is the main thing to tackle in order to aid teenagers is pants-on-head retarded. These are children you're talking to. They shouldn't be content with how they are in the moment. They should be looking forward to how they can be in the future. When you tell someone that their fat rolls are beautiful, or they're just too good for the crush that turned them down, or that being a whorish trash can is just fine, you're helping them be the same dickheads they were in high school when they're 24.
We all know a few people like that, right?
Oh, we certainly do.
See, at least like my parents let Jesus do the shaming, but they still made me feel ashamed of who I was. You know, it's good for you. Like true Americans. Let Jesus do the being disappointed.
That's right. That's what he's there for.
Yeah. Casey, a lady always drives home the point.
Think of it. You are addressing a classroom full of insecure faggots, histrionic girls, overweight goobers, and proto-autistic neets, and you're telling them that they're flawless.
I don't know. Some of those autistic neets might be like superhero mutants. I have a feeling. But Soph, what if I... Oh, go ahead.
They have certain high capabilities.
Yes, they do. And discapabilities.
Equally proportionate on that front.
But Soph, what if I can't face my failure?
It's generally painful to imagine yourself realizing you blow ass, but it's quite liberating, actually.
That's a good point. It's nice to be evil. I'll agree with you.
It's true.
Casey, a lady prevents fires, not puts them out.
I know telling kids to just talk to their school counselor makes your life infinitely easier, but it's akin to putting a Band-Aid on a convict's prolapsed anus as opposed to not letting him get raped.
Boo, pink sock.
Says you.
Yeah. Well, Casey,
now
a
you're gonna
lady...
have to change my screensaver.
A lady is always an optimist, Casey.
Why should you worry about your kid getting shot when school's already raping him every day? At least he's getting a break from his routine ramming.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. I'm so glad this girl's name wasn't Soph Anthony.
Yeah, right?
Hear this.
Casey, a lady always appreciates good imagery.
Seriously, I have very little sympathy for these guys. I know epithets like beta cuck are stale and overused, but they're fitting. You get the right image when you hear those.
Aw.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, sure do.
Hey, wait a minute.
Sure do. You just, fits. Casey.
Now, why would that image pop up there?
I don't know. I don't know who did that. Casey, she talks about why women should strive towards a matriarchal system amidst all this cuckoldry.
Women, after all, are much smarter and better at decision making. That becomes obvious when you look at all the successful matriarchies in the world.
Aw. Casey, a lady never takes a joke too far.
Assalamu alaikum, my Muslim brothers and sisters.
Oh, yeah. Afghanistan
Send
represent.
It. Fucking send it. Why not?
Well, Casey, Soph said some outlandish things, as you can imagine, and she has an apology video coming up. So go ahead, next clip.
I come to you today to atone before Allah for my misdeeds against His people. I perpetrated grievous verbal abuse against the defenseless and entirely innocent people of Islam by very sincerely threatening nuclear genocide on the serious platform that is a Discord server. Little known fact, I was given permission by the United States government to do it. Not only did I have the codes, but the launch keys were in and the missiles were seconds away from being launched. All of a sudden, though, I received a flood of Twitter mentions telling me that the actions I described were morally wrong, a fact which I was completely oblivious to. In their sage wisdom, they proved irrefutably that my hatred was unjustified, assuring me that there is no meaningful correlation between Islam and the proliferation of rape gangs in Europe.
Oh, good. That's good. I thought those Swedes were getting raped by Muslims this whole time, but no, that's good.
Turns out they're okay.
Speaking of Swedes, Casey, this next video.
Greta Thunberg, my arch nemesis and fellow squarehead. You know, despite the political disparities, I like what you do. Fostering panic, making people anxious, inching all of us closer and closer to a Franz Ferdinand assassination-style event to kick off the next major war. I'd like you better if you didn't bitch out and start crying in the middle of your speeches, but that's besides the point.
Dude, I would pay to watch those two fight, but I'm not rich enough. I'd get arrested for that. Pretty sure.
What's her name? Tommy Lauren. She masturbates to these videos.
Yeah,
she loves them.
Casey, this next video I've captioned: "The hand strikes and gives a flower."
I admire you for being a child and rhetorically outdoing professional politicians on divisive issues. It really shows how it only takes one strongly opinionated shithead to completely destabilize democracy, and I like that. You have a lot of balls for a Swede. Don't get me wrong though, you still are a shithead, and the politics you promote are premium unleaded autism.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought you promised.
Oh, while Chris Chan is here, let's give an update on Chris Chan, Casey. You ready?
I'm not ready, but yes, let's go.
All right. Well, Chris Chan had to appear for his sentencing and bail setting, right? Mm-hmm. Here are some highlights from that. Next image. This was reported in, some local newspaper. Casey, could you read that for me? Because I've got the video over the screen.
Sure. Consalvo said it's clear that people sought out where Chandler was staying at a hotel in Henrico and videotaped her arrest. Chandler interrupted proceedings saying, quote, "I'm famous on the internet," end quote, loudly. And then Heilberg told her not to speak until spoken to by the court. Chandler was sworn in to summarize a plan she had for bond, however, didn't appear to address that, and instead asked the court to allow her to go pick up personal possessions and said she would be, quote, "willing to proceed with everything if I can get that done," end quote.
She's talking about toys, by the way, like Transformers and
of course
PS4s, PS5s.
Pikachu thing.
Yeah,
Sonichu.
Sonichu, exactly.
Judge Barreto told Chandler that there are two things to consider when deciding bond: whether a defendant is likely to appear at trial, and if the defendant constitutes reasonable danger to himself, his family, or his community. Chandler again interrupted the judge, saying, quote,
quote, she. She corrected the judge and said, "It's she." Like, it's ma'am.
Sorry. I thought it was moving on to the next page. Sorry.
No, anyway, we do need to get back to global warming. So that's what Christine Chan is up to.
Well, that's beautiful.
No bail, and it's a class 5 felony charge of incest, which holds a minimum sentence of 1 year in prison and a max sentence of 10. So she'll be back out.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah, but Barb will be dead. So good for her.
Poor Barb. Poor Bob, honestly.
Yeah, seriously, dude. I'm so glad he died before all this went down, because, man, he was a good dude.
This wouldn't have happened if Bob was alive.
No.
This part.
No.
This part wouldn't have happened.
No, he doesn't put up with that shit.
He puts up with everything else.
Yeah.
But not that.
So getting back to my lady here and back to global warming, a lady always trusts the science, Casey.
In the 60s, there was a culturally relevant prediction that hundreds of millions would die from starvation by the 1980s due to overpopulation. And guess what? Didn't fucking happen. People have been proclaiming our demise is just 10 years away for the past 100. You might as well be reading schizo posts on X. On the other hand, this whole talk of incoming climate catastrophe is a mighty convenient cover-up for the oil peak situation coming our way, as demonstrated by the graph. Another convenient thing is how behind every Bill Nye and Al Gore, there's a dozen government officials and corporate figures with huge incentives to regulate the shit out of energy. That's because science is an especially effective tool for raping the populace's pockets.
Yes, it is. It does do that.
It's certain, and well.
Casey, a lady always thinks about the big picture.
In addition to my hypothesis of climate change being real, ask yourself this: should we even try to stop it? Because I find it strangely coincidental how New York and California, the bluest and most degenerate states who are the biggest fans of taxing everyone to smithereens, will be underwater if the caps melt. Doesn't it sound like a God-sent flood to you?
It does.
Oh.
It does, Soph.
It certainly does.
It does. Casey, Soph, a little bit older now, is back to talking public school versus homeschool.
If you decide that you'd rather your child be tortured at home than in an insane asylum filled with jewel fumes, there are a bunch of legislative hurdles in the way, making it virtually impossible for anyone with a full-time job to do the paperwork for it. Truly, thank God that women got fully assimilated into the workforce, because now kids spend more time with the state than with their own parents, where they have a 1 in 10 chance of getting molested.
She'd already won that at Jewel Fumes, but
yeah.
It's just, it's so well constructed. All of it is so nicely done.
Casey, I wish that there was like a series of videos where Soph just sat and talked to girls and told them the right way to think. Oh, wait, there is, and she made them. Next video.
Through the process of natural selection, human beings chose having big brains over strong muscles. Why? Well, let me put it this way. A large human being can bench press about 250 pounds. A large chimp, about a ton. If it weren't for spears, we would still be in Africa getting our skulls pummeled in by 4 feet tall Kimbo-sliced meat wagons.
Thought-provoking. 4-foot Kimbo-sliced meat wagons.
There was nothing wrong at all with anything she said until she said Kimbo Slice. It was all fine. Nothing even bordered on racism.
Nope. Kimbo sliced meat wagons.
Oh, Jesus.
Casey, here's Professor Soph on women's power in a men-dominated hierarchy.
Divorce.
How do all these things correlate with the topic of the video anyways? I'll get to that in a jiffy, cockface. But for now, imagine yourself as a cave woman. As a possessor of a uterus, you hold complete power over your caveman counterpart, because without you, he can't reproduce. And if you have surface level knowledge on how hierarchies operate, once you get to rule over someone, you immediately start trying to figure out how much you can exploit them before they get pissed off and run a pole through your asshole.
Ah.
Pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
Casey, a lady always gives practical advice. Next clip.
So, say that you want to eat a fruit that is on top of a tree. Due to your weak and retarded woman body, you can't climb a tree for fuck. What do you do then? Well, you ask your man to do it.
Smart.
That's right.
Oh, shit, dude. This girl is so fucking funny.
So
okay.
smart, so goddamn funny.
But Professor Soph, how do I, as a woman, utilize my strengths?
Considering you have procreative blackmail on your side, you have some leeway in the area of persuasion, but he isn't your slave. Yet. Having that in mind, your task is to bargain with your pussy enough so he'll do it. You have to be nice enough so that he doesn't think to himself, wow, I'd rather jack off than to deal with this ape cunt. But you also can't just go all out and blow him for the fruit either, because that'll spoil him. So how do you balance the two? Well, by now you must have noticed women have high-pitched voices. That happens because having a high-pitched voice guaranteed you success in the mating game if you were a woman, meaning that you are more likely to convince your man to get that fruit for you without much of a sacrifice. However, there still are women with deep voices. According to market theory, they must have attracted men in some other way. So if you're a girl with a deep voice, it's likely that your primeval ancestor did anal.
Oh, man. That is phenomenal.
And Casey, a lady always ties it all together with grace. Next video.
That's just nowadays, though. If we were back in 300,000 BCE, or if you live in Saudi Arabia, the woman gets the short end of the bargain. Short end of the stick if we're talking about Arabs. I guess these days in our progressive society, taking anus by force isn't appropriate thanks to the goddamn Democrats. I've seen people be nostalgic about the 80s. I'm nostalgic about the Paleolithic period, where you could knuckle fuck a dyke into blue hell. No questions asked.
Soph.
Wow. Wow, that's really great.
Oh, man.
I hope she makes content for the next 40 years. I really do.
Well, no surprise she's canceled. And she makes shit on BitChute now and censored.tv. So
she'll be back.
I think she's got a Patreon too. Yeah, the pendulum will swing back, but truly the daughter I hope mine emulates.
That is excellent. DC, this was a blast, and this is the last show we're doing for a few weeks.
Yes, it is. Go out on a high note.
Yeah, we don't have to tell anybody anything because it's a bonus show, and you guys are awesome, and thank you so much for the first year of this podcast. You're close.
Everybody, thank you for coming. Like Casey said, we are gone for the next 2 weeks. We'll open the first week with both episode 1 of season 2. We'll get rid of ourselves from the list and maybe shit on each other a little more. And also do a ladies bonus episode to kick off week 1. So tell your friends, shoot them the Discord link, and the search for the ultimate whore. I mean, lady continues.
Suburban women.
I'm looking for a very beautiful white girlfriend.
Meeting adjourned.